Well, happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you are doing well, and I trust you're having a great day. Thanks for giving me 5 to 7 minutes this morning as we continue to study the miracles of Jesus. We're going to be in Matthew chapter 9, verses 27 through 31. So I'm going to give you a second to find that if you want to find that in your copy of God's Word. Matthew chapter 9, verses 27 through 31. As we study the miracles of Jesus, remember the four things we want to remember. Remember, a miracle is a divine act by which God reveals himself to his people. It's an act that is contradictory or transcends a natural law. It's also referred to in the Bible as a sign or a wonder. And then finally, Jesus used the miracles to introduce himself, to bring God's promised kingdom to the people, that salvation is here. And Jesus used these miracles to help show his divine mission, that he has come to seek and to save that which is lost. And that is you and I that are lost. So we're in Matthew chapter 9 this morning, verses 27 through 31. A question as you finally get there is, would you rather be blind or would you rather be deaf? We've played this with the girls in the car. Would you rather? And I think all of us have said we would rather be deaf than blind because it's so important to see. So this morning, as we walk into this miracle, Jesus is going to heal two blind men, and we're going to learn a lot about Jesus. We're going to learn about the blind men, and then we're going to have a really good challenge for us at the end. So let's look at it. I'm not going to read the miracle to you this morning. I want to set that up, and hopefully you will take 5 minutes and then read the miracle now that we have looked at it and given you the context. When Jesus does this miracle, the men refer to him as the Son of David. They're Jewish people, so they knew that Jesus was the Messiah because this was a Jewish title for the promised Messiah. So as they approach Jesus, they're saying to Jesus, Jesus, we know that you are the promised Messiah that the Old Testament has talked about. So they're not coming asking questions. They're coming knowing who Jesus is. And they're asking Jesus for mercy. Mercy is compassion or giving forgiveness when punishment is deserved. So they're coming saying, Jesus, we know that you are the one that the prophets have talked about through the whole Old Testament. And we come knowing we deserve punishment, but we're asking that you have compassion and that you show forgiveness to us. Now, these two blind men are coming, and they're coming together, and they have the audacity to walk into someone's home that Jesus is in. And they were able to fight the crowds, and they persisted to fight the crowds, and they were able to get somewhere that they could not see, to be able to talk to someone they could not see, to be able to gain access to Jesus, who could be able to help them, to give them the mercy and the healing that they so desperately wanted. Now, remember, there are two men that are here, and they're helping each other. There's a couple great applications. The first one is that we can't go through this life alone. We need help. Second thing is that we need relationships. We were not created to go through life alone. And during these last 4 months, as we've had isolation and social distancing, it's been really hard on us emotionally because we haven't been able to be around those that we love and those that we have relationship with. And it brings us back to the point that we need relationships. We need to go through life with people together. It's as true as Genesis 1 in chapters 1 and 2 that God saw that Adam was alone. He said, it's not good that man should be alone. I will create a helper. We need to go through life with people with us. These two blind men, they came together and they helped each other. And they were able to work their way through the crowd, work their way into a home to find Jesus. Just think about how difficult that could be with your sight, because Jesus now has a lot of crowd around him. These two men, they couldn't see the door, they couldn't see the wall, they couldn't see potholes or people, and they're bumping and stumbling their way in to see Christ. And they desperately want to see him because they know that he's the only one that can help them. So then they finally get to Jesus, and Jesus asks them this question. And he doesn't want to just heal them physically, but he wants to give them the right relationship with the Lord by removing the barrier. So they come to Jesus saying, Jesus, we want mercy. We need mercy. And Jesus just doesn't want to heal them and return their sight. He wants to help them spiritually with their relationship with God. I want you to notice that Jesus does heal them. That's why we can study this as a miracle, because it transcends the natural law. Jesus looks at what they're doing, and it's not their good works that heal them. It's not the right words that they say. They didn't figure out that right magical word combination. They didn't pay Jesus. They didn't have the right friends. They didn't have the right influence. Look at what healed them. Their faith healed them. Jesus knew that they had the faith, and they knew that Jesus could do it. How do we know that? Because of how they addressed Jesus in verse 27 as the Son of David. They knew that Jesus was the Messiah. They also had the faith, and they demonstrated that faith by following Jesus, by fighting the crowds, and by gaining access to the house and boldly asking Jesus for help. One final thing is, once they are healed, Jesus tells them something very interesting. He tells them, don't you tell anybody about this. And why would Jesus want to do that? A couple of reasons why. First one is, he knew Jesus, we're speaking of Jesus, Jesus knew that his life would end in the crucifixion for the sins of the world. And he did not want that crucifixion and the beginning of the opposition to come too soon into his ministry. He has about a third of the way through his ministry now, and he's not ready to face the strong opposition that's going to take him to the cross. He has more work to do. He has more teachings that he needs to do. He needs to continue to equip the disciples. So he asks the two blind men, he says, don't tell anybody about this, because you're going to rush what's going to come soon, and he's not ready for that to be rushed. Jesus didn't want to stir too much opposition early in his ministry, which would help him, or would hurt him in his teachings. And then Jesus, remember, he's got people coming, but they're not coming for the message, they're coming for the miracles. And Jesus wants to focus more on the message of forgiveness, not just the miracles of what Jesus can do for them physically. So he wants to focus to remain on the message and not the miracles. And Jesus is not ashamed of what he's done. Jesus is not upset of what he's done. All the people in that home and the men's family, they would hear about it and word would get out, but they don't. Jesus does not want these men to go out and publicly broadcast what he did for them for those reasons. But then you look at verse 31 and you see what the men did. The men did not obey what Jesus asked them. They did not listen. And they went out and they broadcasted what Jesus did. They went out and did the exact opposite of what Jesus asked them to do. So the two applications I have, the two challenges that I see for us and for myself this morning, is the first one comes from that last verse. Am I obeying what Jesus has told me to do? It's clear what Jesus has commanded for me to do, what Jesus wants for me to do. I can see that as I read through the Bible. And the question I come is, am I living by what Jesus has told me to do? Am I living in obedience? The second question comes from the two blind men. And who can I help? The blind men by themselves would not be able to do much at all, but together they can help each other. And the question I have for you today is, who can I help? Who is there that I can partner with, that I can build a relationship with or strengthen a relationship with as we continue to help each other towards Christ? If there's anything I can do to help you in your obedience, if I can point you to Jesus, let me know. If you need help, let me know. I would love to be able to help you as we both walk together to Jesus, the one who offers life everlasting. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning for our fourth miracle. Have a great Wednesday.